our bulletin at this hour with these images that are coming, evocative images of Shashikala even as she has just reached the Amma Samadhi at Marina Beach. This is where it all started a week ago. Remember, it was here that O Paneerselvam had suddenly come around a little past 9, and that is when this entire chain of events in Tamil Nadu started. He said that Amma's spirit had spoken to him and he decided in the interest of the party and the state to not step aside. He said that he was coerced into tendering his resignation just 2 days after he had actually done that and proposed the name of VK Shashikala as the next chief minister. And from being standby, he actually stood up for himself to stay, to remain the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. He is currently the caretaker Chief Minister of the state, and VK Shashikala, in the events that unfolded yesterday, is on her way to jail. How things change within a week, and it's rightly said that 7 days is a very, very long time in politics. This is VK Shashikala now maybe trying to seek some consolation, some advice, some enlightenment, as it were, from the spirit of Amma at the Jaya Memorial at Marina Beach. And an absolute chaos as expected. Yesterday, this memorial had another set of visitors. OPS had come here again. All of yesterday, he stayed away from making any political speech as such. But another person who did make a significant political step was Deepa Jaikumar. She is Jayalalitha's niece. She had sounded the bugle against Shashikala earlier, but yesterday she said was her formal entry, her official entry into politics as she stood by O Paneerselvam's side, and both of them went to Jayalalitha's memorial. So here were two people who were thinking of their next political move, came to seek the blessings of the late Chief Minister, and her companion of more than 30 years, VK Shashikala, was crying copious tears and breaking down and talking to her MLAs at the resort in Kuvatur about how she was going to jail. She was a victim of a political conspiracy, but she would do everything to keep the party together. And now, just before she sets off for Bengaluru, where incidentally she has to surrender before 5 p.m. today, the Supreme Court completely unrelenting, not willing to give her any quarter. The last legal resort was adopted by Shashikala today, but the Supreme Court said immediately means immediately, which basically means that any window she had of getting a relief of a few weeks, 2 weeks is what her legal counsels told us they were looking at on account of her age, ill health, and also the fact that she is a woman, that has not been granted. The lawyers who are in Shashikala's team also remarked how unusual it was for the court to have said that the accused must surrender forthwith, because usually in cases like this, at least the time of a couple of days, if not a week or two, is given to the convict to wrap up their affairs and go back and surrender. Shashikala Natarajan now has to serve out the rest of her sentence because the clean sheet given to her earlier by the High Court was found erroneous by the Supreme Court, and it reinstated the conviction of Shashikala and two others who are still alive in the disproportionate assets case. Of course, accused number one in this case was J. Jayalalitha, but because she is no more, that is why her judgment has been put in abeyance. Right now, Shashikala at the Jayalalitha Memorial, at the Amma Memorial, and she is paying her respects to the lady who is not just the Iron Lady, the long-time Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, but also her closest friend and confidant. And that, in fact, is the line that Shashikala had taken also after the death of Jayalalitha, that I was never hungry for power. I was only grieving the passing away of my friend and the Chief Minister. And that is when O Paneerselvam was scheming to grab power. That is how she has explained, in fact, that entire episode where Shashikala was, where this surprise revolt was engineered by O Paneerselvam. In fact, these are the fresh images that we are getting right now. Shashikala sitting there with her eyes shut, her hands. Oh, okay, and rather dramatic images also that we are getting of Shashikala almost falling at Jayalalitha's memorial. Did she stumble? Did she black out or faint for a bit? But very, very dramatic images that are now coming in from the Jayalalitha memorial, and it would be very interesting to find out from those who were present over there what made Shashikala fall. Was she distraught, blacked out for a bit? We're just waiting to get in touch with our reporters who in fact are at the Marina Beach, who have been following her as well. But these are very, very evocative images. Her last visit to the Amma Memorial before she has to head to jail. Remember, at 5 p.m. today, before 5 p.m. rather, she has to surrender, and there is very little time left because it's a good 5 to 6 hour drive from here to Bengaluru. And joining us live from Marina Beach is my colleague Akshita Nand Gopal. It's highly charged atmosphere where you are right now, Akshita. Over to you. Take us through what's happening right now.
Well, scenes of chaos really, Padmaja. Huge crowds that have gathered here. Shashikala Natarajan turned up to see the Jaya Memorial. This is possibly the last time to get to see it in many years, considering her conviction. Her convoy is just passing by us as we speak. A huge crowd that's gathered here. People are trying their best to, of course, express their regards to Shashikala Natarajan. She's got her hands folded. She's thanking everyone for their support. Behind her, in her car, also seated, is Ilavalsi, another person who's been convicted in that DA case. But what resolve, Padmaja? Shashikala Natarajan turned up here at the Marina Beach, and what she did really showed her message to the people. She stood by Jayalalitha's memorial and not just, of course, folded her hands, but she was seen muttering very strong words. It seemed like she was telling Jayalalitha, vowing to Jayalalitha that she will carry forward her political legacy, come what may. She was also seen taking her hand and very powerfully, almost like, promising, placing her hand on top and doing it in fact 2-3 times. Every time a loud cheer coming from the cadre as well. So of course a very, very strong moment there from Shashikala Natarajan, where she was seen having a personal moment of sorts with Amma at her memorial, mouthing some strong words, making some very, very strong actions and moving out of here, refusing to talk to the media. But she did, of course, thank all her supporters for coming together here with folded hands, thanked all of them for being here.
But what about, because there seemed to have been a rather dramatic moment where Shashikala stumbled. All right, we'll come back to you, Akshita, in just a second, but we've got Mr. N. Ram with us also on the phone line. What do you make of these images, very, very evocative, Mr. Ram, of Shashikala there, with her eyes welling up, having a personal moment, as it were, at the Jayalalitha Memorial, the last visit perhaps for at least the next 3.5 years?
Yes, I think having done everything contrary to what Jayalalitha wanted, having installed or trying to install her person who was expelled as a deputy general secretary, and also brought in other family members, I think she's now trying to show some public show of emotions. And I think this is outrageous that they've tried to install family members who were clearly working, according to Jayalalitha, working against the party's interests, have been expelled, trying to take over, and having delayed, they've delayed the whole thing, and it took 21 years. It's all of their own making, largely of their making. Now she tried to get more time from the Supreme Court, which has correctly rejected any such concession, asking for time to surrender and so on after being found clearly guilty. So I think it's outrageous that there's this attempt. So I have no sympathy for this public gesture.
Exactly, and you've pointed out how incongruous it is that she is doing all of this in Amma's name, and yet the very people who have been banished by Jayalalitha under very humiliating circumstances, if we can call it that, are now making a comeback, in fact practically being given a hold over the party. Do you think this is going to damage the capital that she so far is holding with the party cadre, Mr. Ram?
Yes, I think the party is clearly imploding. Paneerselvam has a large measure of public support at the moment, but it's not clear how many MLAs will cross over. We expected a large migration, which hasn't happened, but then the MLAs are not free agents. They're being confined, but once Shashikala is out of the picture, gone to jail, along with two others, I think we'll have to wait and see whether they can continue to hold these people. But I think it's unacceptable that elected legislators are confined like this, are virtually imprisoned with, and the reports that the gundas have been deployed to guard them. One of them who escaped described quite vividly how he did that. With great difficulty, this man has said, I was a civil engineer, so I was able to get out. If politics has come to this stage, I think they don't deserve any sympathy. And this party, I think, then, nobody needs to shed tears over the implosion within the AIADMK, although Paneerselvam does command a certain popular appeal at the moment.
But do you think it was a gross error, a misstep? Because so far as she was playing the card of being a woman, a helpless woman who was being wronged, those emotional outbursts also drew quite a bit of applause from the crowd at Poise Garden. Now when she installs a man with a tainted past at the helm of affairs, all of that could be forgotten, couldn't it, Mr. Ram?
Yes, but you already saw signs of it when Jayalalitha's body was lying in state at the Rajaji Hall, that the body was surrounded by family members, including people who had been thrown out by Jayalalitha. And then I think there was a period when Shashikala seemed to go, was in low key, and as you say, attracted a certain measure of sympathy. I also met her at that point, Shashikala, at her invitation, to find out what they were planning to do and find out more about Jayalalitha's condition and so on. I mean, her health, why deteriorated and why she died. But all that, as you say, gone away with this crude attempt. The first miscalculation was the attempted power grab, the attempt to become chief minister. Even general secretary was a bit too much, but that was overlooked as something that, there's nobody else who could hold it together, etc. But once she, after installing Paneerselvam, made this power grab, I think the whole thing became clear, the whole plan became clear, and after the Supreme Court's devastating verdict, I think, which also, damages the image of Jayalalitha quite badly, because then I think it's very crude and it's all out in the open, and I think no good will come out of it.
In fact, before I go across to my colleague Akshita Nand Gopal joining us live from Marina Beach, I want to ask you a last question, Mr. Ram. One comment on this entire dramatic outburst that we are seeing from Shashikala today. If you can see those images, the fact that she stumbled a little, she seemed to have touched the Jaya Memorial, muttered something almost as if she was swearing an oath upon Amma's memorial before she goes into jail. What do you make of all of this? What is the purpose?
Yeah, I'm aware I'm not near any television screen, so I have to just rely on your description. And I think it's not genuine. Because some of it may be genuine because of their long association, but all her deeds after Jayalalitha's death have been, and even before when she was in hospital, have been contrary to whatever Jayalalitha stood for, the positive things she stood for. And today to go and, that kind of bond, I don't know how to interpret it except to say it doesn't seem sincere.
All right, Enram, thank you very much for speaking to India Today. Live from Marina Beach is now my colleague Akshita Nand Gopal. Quite dramatic. How did the people around react, Akshita? First, I want to ask you that.
Padmaja, it's very clear that all that she did, all that Shashikala did was for the cameras. It was to send across a very strong message. And that she definitely did because, every time she bent down to touch Amma's grave, you saw the kind of slogans that were being raised, the supporters cheering on. In fact, even as the convoy was moving out, all the supporters gathered in huge numbers and kept saying, we'll continue to support you, you will emerge stronger than ever, and the likes. So she's definitely put across the message that she wanted. she's also got the kind of sentiments that she wanted from the crowds here, Padmaja. I think all of it was definitely to put out the message to not just, of course, all her detractors, but others as well, that she will be back. I mean, I was standing right there, right opposite her, and I could see how she was mouthing very, very strong words, almost as if, she was making a promise to Jayalalitha, because right after she would mouth these words, she would bend down and with equal force then slam her hand on the memorial as if, she was making a promise, as if she was swearing to Jayalalitha that she will continue to carry the party forward. And interestingly, every time she did that, you'd see the crowds going up, going absolutely berserk, all of them screaming, interestingly enough, not just Purechi Talevi Amma, but also Chinnamma Varga this time around at the Jaya Memorial. I also wanted to add in, Padmaja, to what Mr. Ram was saying about Shashikala's kin also being involved. Interestingly, they were all present here as well at the Jaya Memorial. Several of her family members were present despite all the developments that we've seen in the last 24 hours. Shashikala even reportedly expressing regret. And but besides that, you still see what's happening here. You still see relatives who came with her. All of them were present alongside her. That convoy is at least 15 cars long. Ask me, I got stuck in the convoy while coming here as well. 15 cars, all of them heading towards Bengaluru right now. And many of them are her relatives, Padmaja. Whatever Jayalalitha did, whatever Amma did, many would consider this an insult. The fact that she brought her family relatives to her memorial while paying her respects for possibly what could be the last time in many years.
In fact, Akshita, since I'm assuming that everyone who would have accompanied Shashikala to the Jaya Memorial would have been her staunch supporter, how do they react to the fact that the man who Jayalalitha did not like, and that is an understatement, is now back in the party, that the people who were known as the Manargudi Mafia are making a slow and steady comeback. They are seen at Jayalalitha, at Shashikala's side. In fact, of all things, they were present by Jayalalitha's very body, even as it was kept in state at Rajaji Hall. How are the cadre reacting to that?
Well, I think largely, Padmaja, many people, many critics, many analysts in the past, in the last few weeks, ever since we've seen Shashikala rise to power, have opined that possibly the reason she doesn't have really a swell of support amidst the ground level workers is that many people within the AIADMK, at least as far as the cadre are concerned, I'm of course not talking about the MLAs or the ministers here who clearly showed where their support lies, but as far as the cadre and the ground level workers are concerned, I think that is the sentiment, that she is not just an intruder because Amma never named her as her political heir, but also the fact that her family seems to be, making inroads into the party and seems to be playing a huge role as far as the decision making within the party is concerned. And I think that is something that the cadre are seeing read over, at Opari Selvam's house. If you speak to all the supporters who are gathered there, many of them are saying that this is to put an end to family politics, that dynasty politics needs to end before it even begins in the AIADMK, because they believe that this is the beginning of a very, very bad precedent for the party. So we'll have to, of course, wait and watch to see what happens, but this definitely will not be looked upon well by the cadre. She needs to get some brownie points with the cadre, and this definitely won't cut eyes with them. They're going to not like this move whatsoever, because they feel that this is an outright insult to Jayalalitha.
All right, so there are more and more words, more and more opinions about how the memory of the very lady in whose name this entire power struggle is taking place in Tamil Nadu, her memory is being sullied. It's again something, Akshita, that the Opani Selvam camp, who knows that they don't have the numbers, this is something that they've harped on again and again. Do you really want to side with someone who has done every single thing that she assured Jayalalitha she won't? She was supposed to be Jayalalitha's sister, and now she has made a bid at becoming chief minister. She entered politics all of Jayalalitha's life, never took on any political role. Jayalalitha never gave her any political appointment, but soon after her death, within a month and a half, she was made general secretary, and now she's brought in her family, Akshita.
Absolutely. Padmaja, we saw this happening from day one, barely 24 hours after Jayalalitha's demise, as you pointed out. We saw Shashikala's family members standing right by Jayalalitha's mortal remains. So that really shows how she's, tried to push her family in. Even today, the fact that, she's heading to Bengaluru, she will have to surrender before a court and then possibly will have to head to Parapana Agahara in the next few hours or the days, whatever it may be. it's very clear that she's still trying to have some sort of a hand in the party affairs and the government by pushing her family in. Jayalalitha was someone who was also surrounded completely by the Manargudi family, by Shashikala's family. There were many members who lived with her in the Poise Garden residence. So, this is something that many people have not taken kindly to, the fact that Shashikala is slowly bringing in her family members to run the party and not just be a part of the party, but to actually run it. Because possibly Shashikala feels, Padmaja, that being in prison, she needs to ensure that whoever is at the helm of affairs, she can trust them with. Maybe she's learned a lesson from what happened with O Paneerselvam, and that's why she doesn't want to outrightly, completely trust Palanisamy, and that's why she's bringing in the likes of Dhinakaran as well as the other family members. From day one, I think we've had this discussion on India Today several times about the role Natarajan also will play in this party. As of now, he's not really visible, he's not really out there. But who knows, maybe in a few days, once Shashikala is behind bars, we could see Natarajan also at the helm of affairs, pulling the strings of the party and the government.
Well, in fact, it was meant to be a surrender, but if it was quite clear that Shashikala was not going to go down meekly. That surrender has now been turned into a spectacle that began right from inside Ved Nilayam. And as Shashikala's cavalcade left just about 15 minutes ago from Poise Garden, my colleague Pramod Madhav was right there, and he got you this ringside view of the last journey that Shashikala is making out of Poise Garden, at least for the next couple of years and more.
Here starts the journey of the General Secretary of AIADMK, Ms. Shashikala, who's leaving from her place right now, Poise Garden, Veda Nilayam. Well, we are expecting her to leave from here to Marina, to the Jayalalitha or her Amma Samadhi. From there, the journey will begin to Bangalore, where she is supposed to surrender in front of the court. Apparently, she also filed a mention in the Supreme Court seeking for an extension for her surrender, which has been denied. As you can see right now, there are thousands of people over here, AIADMK cadres, who want to take a glimpse of Ms. Shashikala, who wants to leave, who is on her way to Poise Garden right now. She is just nodding to everybody, and she's leaving over there. The path is being cleared, and there she goes. As you can see over there, she is going, you can see her face right now. She's just... We could see that her eyes are a bit teary as well. She is congratulating her cadres, and she is on her way. Apparently, the last decision she has taken before leaving for Bangalore is to make her nephew TTV Divakaran as the Deputy General Secretary of the party. And I also have to mention here, is that this is her decision, not just Mr. TTV Divakaran. Along with him, Dr. Venkatesh, another relative of hers, has also been reinstated to the party. With camera person Shiv Prashant, Pramod Madhav in Chennai for India Today.
At Jayalalitha's memorial, Shashikala arriving, staying there for about 15 to 20 minutes, and 3 times making a gesture of taking an oath in Amma's name, muttering prayers, what seems like a prayer, or taking an oath, and 3 strong dramatic gestures at Jayalalitha's memorial. Shashikala bending down and striking the memorial thrice in a gesture of taking an oath. She is going out while making a statement. She might be down, but she is definitely not out. So this is Shashikala's last fight back as she heads to jail in Bengaluru, and traveling with her is the India Today team.